Hi folks, Alex Klingelhoeffer here with Exencial Wealth Advisors. It is 6:53 here in the middle part of the country on Monday, March 22nd. Here's your morning jog through the economic headlines of the world. Off the presses this morning, AstraZeneca came out with new trial data of their vaccine. It had about 33,000 participants in the study, and it came out at about a 79% efficacy rating. That's better than expected. It is excellent. Remember, AstraZeneca is a vaccine that the EU stopped using, Australia stopped using for a little bit last week over blood clot concerns. Those concerns seem to be not so bad anymore. In fact, in a related story, let me switch over here. The UK and EU are now fighting over some doses that are made in the Netherlands. So not only is the EU back to using that AstraZeneca vaccine, now they're fighting over some doses that are produced in the Netherlands that are contracted to both the EU and the UK. It'd be interesting to see. We said last week, hey, vaccine diplomacy is going to be a real thing over the next 4-8 weeks. We're starting to see countries fight over doses. Certainly, this new study in the US making it available to be used probably later this week or early next in the US will allow the US to be vaccinated more fully, more quickly, and therefore the US is going to have additional doses that they can trade and possibly get some concessions on an economic basis to share that good wealth. Richmond, Fed President Barkin said the U.S. is on the brink of a complete recovery. So we're now starting to see some of that in the rhetoric from the Fed. Of course, the Fed kept rates unchanged on the short end of the curve last week. He did said there could be some permanent scarring from the COVID crisis. That could be permanent progress, quite frankly. More folks working from home, seeing greater efficiency gains. You know, we said last week 6.5% was consensus for this year in terms of economic growth. It had been 6, moving up to a little bit closer to OECD's 6.5%. We might be too low. And I'll tell you why. I had a couple key data points here on why that might be too low. Most of those economic assumptions accounted for economic activity normalizing sort of end of Q2. I've got two indicators that came in over the weekend that make me think we're getting faster economic recovery than I had thought, than most folks had thought. Here's the first. Good follow on Twitter, Patrick DeHaan. He's really the key analyst at Gas Buddy. We're back to pre-COVID levels in terms of gasoline usage. 9.5% over the week before, and year over year, actually a little bit more than early March in 2020. So gas, we're back. US 100% back, plus a little bit in terms of growth as folks go on spring break trips. That's huge, right? Fuel demand being back. Of course, we're seeing every weekend there's a new record of TSA screenings, but now driving back as well. That is huge. And look at this. Miami over the weekend had to close down South Beach and Miami Beach because there were so many folks wanting to be there, wanting to travel, wanting to revel on spring break. They had to. This is a place that's built for tourists, for vacationers, for folks flocking to beaches, and they had to shut the beach down. They had to shut the entire city down after 8 and up until 6. They had to impose a curfew because so many folks had traveled there. Just we're seeing it. We're seeing folks come back to normal plus some. Again, this is just some ancillary data, but take it for what you will. I think we might be a little bit too low on the 6.5% just because this economic activity is coming back a little bit earlier 12 to 14 weeks earlier than is expected, and that's important. That's significant. That matters. That's the morning jog here for this morning. Again, it's March 22nd. If you want some additional news throughout the day, feel free to follow me on Twitter. I'm OKC CFA CFP. Otherwise, I'm out.